could be shirtless right now and they'd never know.
You might be pantsless. I will not confirm nor deny the fact that they maybe.
There's just nothing below the table.
You're just a torso?
Yeah.
You're just a floating torso? All right. What's up, everybody, and welcome to the Press X Podcast, episode 114, your weekly podcast for gaming news and opinions coming at you each and every Monday. I'm Kevin McManus. With me, Nick Hassell.
I've got covered this week.
Todd Broussard.
Hello.
Yeah, you are by my Silent Hill vinyl. Mm-hmm. You ready for story time? Here's the story of this one. I believe it's called Mondo. They do the cool posters and T-shirts and like limited things. They made a Silent Hill vinyl, and it was really cool, and it was really limited. And they decided to do a second printing, and the difference in this printing is that the vinyls are black instead of like this clear that were in the originals. So I guess that's how they keep the other people happy. So they decided to do $30 reprint, and I was like, purchase as soon as possible, and I got it, and it's probably actually my favorite vinyl. I love my Persona vinyl, but just the fact that these are like pianos and guitars and violins, they sound really nice in vinyl form. So
that's sweet.
Yeah, I really like it. So I wanted to just kind of show it off because there's already so many videos on YouTube of the first print getting opened and shown off and stuff that I felt like it was kind of pointless to do a whole video on it, but I wanted to represent it somehow. So here it is.
There it is.
Yeah, and they said that if this sells well, they might do Silent Hill 2 and 3, which have awesome soundtracks as well. So I would very much
that'd be dope.
Very much like that. So
it's got sweet artwork on it too, on the inside.
Oh yeah. It's the game like manual artwork and stuff like that. Very sweet, very sweet. So a little bit of housekeeping. I did a video on my gaming chair, my new racing chair that I got. Enjoyed it very much, and I wanted to put out a video just because there's a lot of like kind of sketchy videos out on that company. Dare I say?
Sketchy?
Yeah, there's a lot of like promoted videos that are clearly like, hey, take shots at this company and this company and endorse ours, and we give you a discount. Like that's what it seems like. I don't know, but there's like 95% of the videos on them are like that.
There's just not like actual people.
Yeah, like it wasn't like, hey, I bought this because and it's cool. You know, there's not a lot of that, so I wanted to make one of those.
In the link down below.
Yeah, it was a lot of that. So,
why don't we all have esports chairs up here?
That'd be sweet. Or comfortable chairs.
You don't like the kitchen table chairs?
No, they're fine.
They're pretty miserable, but that's okay. So anyway, that's it for the housekeeping. We'll start with what we've been playing. So we're going to kind of go through that fast because, boy, oh boy, there was a lot of news this week. Yeah. A lot of important news randomly dropped all on the same day, it seemed like. So we have a lot to get to. So we'll start with what we've been playing. I'll start because mine's really quick. Been doing more Fortnite, halfway through my battle pass, which is really like 30% because every time you level up, it's harder to level up the next time. Having a blast, still playing that game. They're making their weekly changes. We're going to talk a little about it later, so I'm not going to go into it. Playing more Final Fantasy 12. This game is not grabbing me the way I want it to. I keep like I played 13, and I'm like, I'll play it for 8 hours and then shut it off. Yeah, I'll play it for like 13 hours or 8 hours and like shut it off, and the next day I'll play it for like 6. Like I'm really enjoying it. This one I struggle to play it more than like 2 without kind of being like, all right, I'm gonna go to something else. And I don't know if that's just like I have Fortnite downloaded sitting there and I'm obsessed with that game, or what. But I'm still not liking the characters. The story's still like neutral on. I'm not excited or.
You said you like the combat though.
So I like the combat system, but the actual combat I'm not like in love with. I think part of the reason might be because you set up all these gambits. So you're like, okay, number one priority, if anybody has less than 60% health, cast Cure on them. Second, if anybody doesn't have Protect, cast Protect on them. Third, target the enemy I'm targeting. Fourth, target the enemy with the lowest health. Like you set these parameters for all
it's like conditions. Yeah,
your party to follow, and that's really cool. And then you go into battle and you do it, but like when you die, it kind of just feels bad that you spent all this time in a menu setting up all these parameters, and then you get kicked back to the start screen. So I actually feel like this is a game that might benefit from like redo the battle type situation when you die. Just be like, reset your gambits and try again type thing, like a little bit less punishing in that way. And with that said, it also makes boss fights not feel as epic because you are just programming all your guys to do their attacks. Like you don't feel like you're really fighting the cinematic boss. It just feels like a thing with more health. There's no, at least so far, there's no like dodging and blocking and all this. You're kind of just here's everything you're supposed to do. Go and do it. It worked or it didn't. Like that's kind of how it
That's
feels.
a
So.
lame.
Yeah, so I'm not like love the idea of the system.
Yeah.
Not so sure on its execution. But anyway,
It's the same as KOTOR. There was a bunch of I'll call them bullet sponges, but just enemies with really high health, and it's just like do the same chain of moves 76 times. And then he's dead. So those games don't really have an option other than just make a high health enemy.
But
the fact that there's no like strict like defensive stances and stuff like that, it's weird because the enemies will do like it's charging up its attack, and you're just like, all right, like what am I gonna do? Just heal myself really quick? Like there's nothing.
Cast protect.
So far, there you can cast like a reflect maybe. Like there's nothing so far that I'm like, ooh, this feels. It's just not as satisfying, I guess, as I wanted.
It's just more dungeon-like than most of the other games.
Other than that, I wanted something that wasn't an RPG and wasn't this like, quick, fast-paced Fortnite thing. So I hopped into Resident Evil 4, and I kind of had a blast with it. I played a couple chapters of it. I'm remembering all the bad, remembering all the good, having a good time with it. I wish that there was an easy mode because I kind of just wanted to run through the game, and you have to play on normal. I'm like, oh, that's a little bit of a bummer. They don't have like the graphics aren't like they didn't do a great job making it look good. Like it still looks pretty meh. Yeah. And they don't fix the voice acting. They don't really have that many special like things that they added to it.
We're spoiled.
But it's still
on,
a really good game.
We're spoiled on remasters right now.
I'll say. But it's still a really good game, and it took me a little while to like remember why it was so cool. Running into a house, boarding up the house, fighting until they kind of like break in, and then like jumping out the window, finding a new house, kicking down the ladder so they can't get up to you. Like that is the heart of the game. And that's where it's really fun. And I played it for like an hour before I remembered that's what I was supposed to be doing. And then once it clicked, I'm like, oh yeah, this still feels good. It's definitely dated with the whole you can't walk and shoot at the same time is really strange. Pausing all the time to heal yourself and stuff like there's things that are definitely like completely dated in it. Yeah. But I'm still having fun with it. Gotta rescue the president's daughter. She's been kidnapped.
For sure.
Gotta rescue Ashley. So that's it for my games. Not too much.
Good.
I've played 2 games this week. On Tuesday, Rainbow Six Siege had an update. They included an outbreak mode, which is basically, if you want to think about it, it's kind of Left 4 Dead, but with a strategical shooter or a tactical shooter. So it's not as arcadey, but it's still enemies rushing at you, different types. This guy blows up. This guy has high health. This guy summons other zombies. It's pretty cool. It's got like some cinematics with it. It came with 2 new operators, so 2 new characters, I guess, into the mix. One of them that showed up is my new favorite because of her ability. She basically has like a team resurrect and like adrenaline rush sort of thing, so that's pretty cool to have in that sort of game, because most other people's abilities have to do with like how they take out walls or like equipment based, but she's just like she feels like an Overwatch character in a Rainbow Six game, so it's kind of busted. So it's pretty cool. And started playing on harder difficulties just because I finally got to the point, because also Tuesday they released every mainstay character and their like equipment loadouts to all the players, I think, except for maybe like the cheapo version. I think most players got all those free unlocks, so I've been playing on harder difficulties now that I have everything, and kind of got like a good comfort level with the game. So I'm getting a little better. Probably going to try PvP against actual humans this week instead of just doing zombies or
I forgot you have to
terrorists
actually
on.
like
play haven't
what
actually
the game is.
Yeah. I don't know, I really wanted a PvE game, I guess, and had it, but now I can probably comfortably play against real people and do reasonably well. Also just kind of wanted on top of the mobile game that I already play, Bleach, all the time. I wanted like another mobile kind of like, I don't know, grind out like 30 minutes or an hour here and there every day type of game. Ended up picking up Stardew Valley for the Switch.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
You made fun of me when I said I was going to get that.
Well, it came down to either Golf Story or Stardew Valley, and I felt more like farming, I guess. So, I picked it up, played a couple hours of it, made my farm, grew some potatoes, like chatted up a lot of people.
It sounds like Animal Crossing with a story.
Yeah,
I really want to play it.
and yeah, I do
not want to play this game.
each time I probably talk about this, it's not going to sound exciting or anything.
I will say there is a story,
Yeah,
and you like
there
get
is.
to like date the people,
Yeah.
and they all have different personalities
Yeah.
and stuff.
There's social interaction and
Sold.
stuff like that.
That's all like I can date the other farmers. We're done here.
I mean,
need
I'll
this game.
mention it each week that I'm playing it, but like I said, there's not going to be like this, oh man, there was this one moment where like that's not that type of game. It's just sort of like a mellow, chill out sort of game.
Yeah.
Music's cool. I really like the graphics and stuff like that on it, and I think the Switch feels perfect for it. I could have got it on PC, I think.
Yeah.
And probably had mods. I don't feel like it's a PC game. I feel like I just want to take it around the house or take it wherever and play it sort of thing, where PC you're just...
Your millennial rooftop party.
Yeah. In between my...
I don't think that's a good rooftop party game.
Hey, sometimes you got to farm. But yeah, been farming, fishing, selling stuff at the market.
So does that game run in real time? Like when you leave and come back, did stuff like grow and things happen?
Don't know.
Like
I played it
Animal
all
Crossing?
in one sitting.
Okay.
And I think...
Like in Animal Crossing, when you leave and you
Yeah,
come back,
yeah.
they'll be like, hey, I missed you over the past 2 days. This is kind of what's happened. There's some weeds over there. You should probably go pull, you lazy fuck. Like, it
Yeah, I had to clear out a bunch
Time
of
passes.
twigs and logs and stones and stuff in my yard.
Oh,
but
man, that game sounds exciting.
it's so cool. But yeah, I'm gonna be playing that for the next couple weeks. But like I said, that's nothing too exciting. Still need to play Bayonetta, and me having the Switch in my hands more often now should allow for that to happen.
why is the Japanese Bayonetta so much better than ours?
Why is the Japanese version of most things so much better than ours?
Touche.
A topic for a later date.
Okay, so I've been playing quite a bit today. There's a bunch of like...
Just today.
No, not today. This week. So I was playing a bunch of League. They came out with a new champion. She's got a weird name. It's like Kaya Saya or something. I don't know. But she's got a cool backstory. It's like this like human, and she got trapped in the void like as a child, and she grew up in the void. Which
That's
is
cool.
Like, yeah, which is really sweet. She's like this.
It's like Supergirl.
Yeah, she's like this super like close range, like fast paced ADC. So, but she gets banned every game, so that's a bummer. So I've only gotten to play her in bots.
Oh, yeah.
So-
How's that work when new characters get announced? You just can't play as them.
Every single time, at
Yeah,
least
you can
when
just
I
play
stopped.
like normal, but I always play draft just because it's a little more competitive.
I
But,
think I stopped playing in 2014, 2015, and it was the same thing every single new patch.
Yeah.
That it would just get banned. Either it was broken beyond reason, like rationality, I guess,
Yeah.
and people didn't want to play against it, or people always just like snap picked it
yeah,
instead
people
of
do that
picking
too.
like what you should play.
Mhm.
And they just wanted to.
That's happened too. Like I'll get ADC every game, but then
Yeah.
my top laner will pick the champion. I'm like, oh okay, have fun. Like
Yeah.
so, and then I've been playing some Smite. They came out with Achilles as a champion.
Interesting.
Yeah, the only reason I started.
Why are all these games releasing characters? Siege, Overwatch.
I don't
LOL,
know, but
Smite.
Achilles and Smite's really fun. I don't know. He played like if you watch Troy, he plays just like Achilles in that movie. It's insane. He's
Nice.
super fun. He's like really fast paced and like jumping over people and like stabbing them in the head and stuff. So that's super fun. Played some Overwatch. They came out with a skin for Widowmaker. It's like the 20th anniversary of StarCraft.
Cool.
So they came out with like a skin honoring that. It's like the main chick from StarCraft, the human girl. I can't remember her name. But
played StarCraft.
that's like my main character in Overwatch. So that's been super fun. Been playing some Injustice 2. Been still having a blast with it. I think I finally found my main character. Playing a bunch of Green Arrow. Yeah, it's so random, but he's super fun.
I like the boxing glove.
Yeah, the boxing glove's sweet. Just his whole like kit's really cool.
He's much better than
it
the
feels,
first time.
Yeah, it feels very true to Green Arrow, which is cool. Been playing some Fortnite with old Kevin over here. Get my ass kicked
doing
every
so
time
well.
I play.
Yeah, we're not
You
a
figured
great
out
duo.
why though.
I think so. We'll talk about it a little
Yeah,
later, but I think
and
so.
then I finished my Borderlands 2 playthrough as well, which was sweet.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hmm.
And that's not a very long story. I think it took me like 12 hours or something, but I did all the
I didn't know it was that short.
Yep. But I haven't finished all the DLC. I did like the main playthrough.
Right.
So now I'm doing all the DLC.
It's a lot of DLC too.
Yeah, I think it's like 15 hours of DLC or something. So excited about that. I think that's all I've been playing.
Did you play Tales from the Borderlands?
Not all the way through.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's on my Xbox.
Weren't into it?
No, it's cool. I like it. I just like, I don't know, I just kind of forgot about it. Something came out like as I was playing. It's
pretty funny.
Yeah.
I don't think it's like great, but it's pretty funny. All right, let's move into the news. This is where the bulk of our time is going to be
The meat
spent.
and the
Let's
potatoes.
just dive right in. Bunch of random stuff. There was a direct. There was 2 huge games announced on the same day. There was just so much stuff. So let's start off with Diablo 3 coming to Switch. So this was a tweet, I believe, by Blizzard where it was a Switch, not the console, literally a Switch, and somebody switching on and off like a light for Diablo 3, basically.
Yeah,
That's cool.
It's like, oh, okay, it's coming to Switch. And then people are like, oh, Diablo 3 confirmed for Switch. And then Blizzard's like, we have nothing to announce at this time. We currently have no plans working on. And then like insiders are like, they're working on it. And like,
That's awesome.
it was a whole thing. Like maybe that tweet wasn't supposed to go live then. Maybe it was, supposed to wait a month or 2 or something. I don't know. But so what do we think about Diablo 3 on the Switch?
Awesome. Play
Yeah.
Diablo 3.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think it's a good
really,
fit.
really good Switch game.
Yeah, like there's not any sort of like Twitch controls on it. I mean, obviously you need to be hitting buttons at the correct time and stuff like that. I haven't played it on console, but I know it did quite well as far as Xbox.
I put it
Whatever.
on the Xbox.
Yeah, it's good. It's a
Feels
good
really
fit.
good.
It's a good fit.
Just chew your eyes straight
Sorry,
into the
sorry.
microphone.
But yeah, I mean, I don't see why the Switch would really like downgrade its quality. Really, I mean, it's not like you must play in 60 frames per 4K sort of
Yeah,
thing.
I mean, it was on PS3.
Yeah.
and
How's the
360.
you think it'll do right? Like as far as like online play goes on the Switch?
Docked, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Find
well,
a mobile hotspot. I
dock
guess.
doesn't matter. It
I know,
uses
but
Wi-Fi anyway.
Yeah, but like usually people like if they're playing at home, they have a better internet connection, and they're not like.
Oh,
running
I
around
see. You're
between...
not on like the hotel Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I think it'll be fine. The Switch is online is usually pretty fine.
Is that-
Yeah, except for that time I tried to play Splatoon in the basement and it just kept cutting out. That wasn't good.
Well, I mean, yeah, just people are so used to like I'm gonna play like Stardew Valley on my Switch, and they're like, let me load up Diablo, and it's like you can't play. It's like, oh yeah.
Is that online only though, or can you play that by yourself?
You can play by yourself.
Yeah, that's what I figured. You can like level up your character and stuff, and then
Yeah.
play online. Yeah.
I mean, there's a whole story mode. Like you can play by yourself.
No, this sounds cool. I actually might jump on this one whenever it gets announced. I imagine this will be a holiday game.
What do you think the price tag will be on it?
60.
Yeah, 60. It'll probably come
Absolutely.
with everything though.
Yeah,
Yeah, that'd be cool.
It might
Have,
just
like,
be.
ne-
It might literally be 70. Like I wouldn't be surprised if the Switch. All these Switch games are so expensive. I don't
it's
understand. Literally, Tropical Freeze is more expensive for the Switch than it was for Wii U.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's crazy.
That is crazy.
But
If
I
it
mean,
came
if
with
it,
all- if it- I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I don't
this is
actually
gonna
think it'll
all
be
DLC
70, but I do think
DLC.
it'll be 60.
If it goes with all DLC, then
It's
that's
worth.
like a pretty good deal.
Well, that's what they do now, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
the
you
Reaper of
just buy-
Souls
right.
one just
But
comes.
I think you have to buy the Necromancer separately. That's a whole other DLC.
Do you?
It's like $20 DLC.
something like that, yeah.
Got a bunch of shit with it.
But it'd be if it contains everything all the way up through Necromancer, like if it's just like a special version that they release for the Switch, definitely worth it. If
Yeah, I
it's
think
60,
so.
70, 80, whatever.
Cool. Next up, Call of Duty Black Ops 4 got leaked and then announced. I think it was
Jesus.
I think it was a on purpose leak. I don't know who it was. Some NBA player was wearing a hat of Black Ops 4, and then the next day they were like, "Hey guys, Black Ops 4 is coming out." Not very surprising. Everybody kind of knew that was coming.
Yeah.
The big news is October 12th. Way to fuck every other game.
yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't know why this was chosen, but like between Red Dead 2 and then this now in October, which is kind of when people throw out their final like wave of exclusives and stuff now.
Right.
People kind of skip November. And then I'm sure in November we're going to get the big Ubisoft game and the, whatever, the whole things that we always get, whatever shooter decides to show up this year, Battlefield and all that stuff. I kind of feel bad for like the exclusive people picking their date. They're like, "Ooh, an early October Call of Duty is going to be rough."
It's always November, which is what threw me.
It's
for
been
a
November for like 13 years.
I feel like they just wanted to shake things up, and that was about all they needed to decide to move it up, unless they just know something's coming.
Yeah, they either know something big is coming out, or they maybe thought Red Dead was going to be
But
November.
yeah,
and
it's
they-
either that, but you have to think too. Like if Call of Duty is scared about something, I mean that game's just gonna sell still.
Yeah.
I think Red Dead would eat into it though if they were
I think
at
so.
the same time.
So
For sure.
if they knew something was coming, then like what in the world would it be? Red Dead, sure, but would it take enough away from? I feel like the same people who buy both games will get them, so I don't feel like their sales would be hurt. It's just like their online time would be hurt.
Yeah, I don't know if they're doing like some huge Destiny 2 thing, because that's the same company.
Yeah.
You know, or I have no clue. Maybe Blizzard's doing something, also the same company. Like,
Is there still a Destiny like DLC coming out?
yeah, I'm sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
I don't know. I know they came out with the curse. I don't know
But
if they came out
yeah,
with
it's very strange to me. So like the news to me is that it's coming out in October. That's very, very
weird.
weird. I don't like it at all.
Who's which one is this? Is this Treyarch, Black Ops 4, or is it?
I don't know.
Okay.
I think Treyarch is Black Ops.
I
but I'm not
haven't.
sure.
I'm not sure.
Yeah,
I haven't played those games in so long that I don't know what.
All I
they're
know
even
is
odd
Infinity
years.
Ward was the one everybody liked, and they hated
Yeah.
them. And I don't even know Sledgehammer. Oh, is it Sledgehammer?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I've played the
Whatever.
past couple ones, and they just keep getting progressively kind of worse.
Yeah. Don't
Like
worry. This one will
everything-
have a battle royale mode.
Everything about them just.
I kind of want to play the World War
Two
one, but forgot to, or just didn't get a chance to. Really, there's
played
like a
it.
rush at the end of the year to play all the other games. So
Oh yeah.
I played a little of it. It's like it's
Seems
fun.
sweet.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
cool.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I enjoyed like Battlefield 1 a lot more.
Yeah. Well, we're getting a Battlefield 5 apparently.
It's a bummer.
So I assume that's this year too. They
Yeah.
did Battlefield 1, and they already have Battlefield 2, and they have Battlefield 4. We're getting Battlefield 5. I don't know. We'll talk.
let's just call it Battlefield.
We'll talk about that when we decide to get more news on it. The Division 2 was just randomly announced officially. That was weird. I think it was a tweet.
Yeah, it was like the little like GIF image basically of like the logo kind of like forming or whatever. It's
Yeah,
pretty
and
cool.
it's just like Division 2. I was telling you, of all of Ubisoft's franchise, besides maybe Steep, this is the game I want the least. Like,
I'm excited about it.
Like I would much rather have Prince of Persia, Splinter Cell, a new Rainbow Six. All their games are starting to kind of look the same with the like Ghost Recon's a lot, like
Yeah.
Division and stuff. And I was hoping that we'd kind of get away from that, but Ubisoft loves just kind of annualizing things. So.
I'm hoping, or I'm willing to give them another shot on it. I mean, I had no issues with the game until I beat it, and I was just like, what to
do I do?
Yeah.
So-
and I think they kind of realize that a little bit.
So I'm hoping that they kind of learn from it. And I don't know. Usually games get a little bit better as far as the series go for most of the Ubisoft games. So
I think the big deal with like the first is Division were some like the ideas they had for it, and they just didn't like fully get those.
Well, yeah, if you watch that trailer and then you watch the actual game,
Yeah.
like part of the reason that game had so much hate against it is that first trailer. Literally none of that's in the game.
Yeah, let's say
Like,
looks like
It's
the
that
greatest game
area
ever.
they're playing in isn't even in the game.
It is
Like-
now.
Oh, did they add
Yeah,
it?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
it is now.
But yeah, that was the.
that game's
so that
actually-
means they did that area that long ago and they made it as DLC.
Mm.
That's cool. People probably like that too.
I'd rather just them make the second game just fully just the Dark Zone. Or
That'd be
is that what it
cool.
was called? Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Or
sweet.
have different servers where you can join like a PvP or a PvE only.
I don't know. I think that
That's-
Dark Zone's kind of cool. 'Cause
Yeah.
it's got PvE and PvP in it. It kinda,
Yeah, well, I know a lot of people that don't play because of the Dark Zone.
Yeah.
So I think it might be
I mean,
better
it was
to just
sectioned
have
up.
like
You had to go through like
Yeah.
security gates to get to it, so it wasn't like you
You
just
did.
like happen upon PvP out of nowhere.
But as far as
yeah, but you can't go there without it being PvP.
yeah,
You can.
no, you can't. It's,
Right.
It's all.
So
PvP.
I think it would be cool if they just had like this is the PVE offline, like you can do your thing, or here's the online
Okay.
thing. Because I know there's a lot of people that played that game offline as well.
Mhm.
Though I think you needed to be connected to the internet, but you could disable all the online stuff or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
you're just not playing with anybody.
But anyway, very weird. I don't know why they announced this.
I'm
Oh, they
excited about
didn't do like it was just like, hey, it exists.
Yeah, it was
That's
almost
actually a lot of these is hey, is it hey it.
It's weird because they
even the Nintendo Direct that we're going to talk about the day before. They were just like,
Yeah.
by the way,
they put something out and they were like, well, this will be at E3. And I was like, why don't you just surprise us with it at E3?
yeah, we'll talk about that later. Next up, God of War got a custom PS4 announced. It is gold and silver, and it is like the tip of like Kratos' new axe. I think it looks cool,
I think
but
it
I
looks
still wouldn't
sexy.
want it on my like it wouldn't match anything I have.
Yeah,
But it's cool for people that want it, and it's a pro, I believe.
I think so. I kind of
Most
want to get
likely,
this.
yeah.
So that's cool. Because I think it's got the 3 layers, and the Pro is 3 layers because the middle one's gold, which I actually think is the coolest looking part of it. So yeah, some people really hate this. Some people like it a
love
lot. I'm in the middle. I'm like, it's cool. They've done better special
I'm
editions.
I want to make sure I like the game before I buy something like that.
I think
Cool.
I think this is where my tax return's going. For this new, it's really sweet.
Thanks, Trump.
Next up, Inside, which is a game that came out 2 years ago, I think now.
2 to 3. Yeah.
It was a follow-up kind of to Limbo, this puzzle platformy atmospheric game. Critically loved. I wasn't huge on it, but people really liked this game. It's getting a collector's edition now, and it's not coming out until 2019. So that's interesting. And I believe it is $370 or $380.
Jeez.
And it includes a PS4 copy of the game, a PC copy of the game, and Limbo. And we don't know what else.
That's an expensive collection.
Yeah,
Yes.
I don't know. Like, I know it got critical reception, but I just don't know who would pay that much for this game.
It's a little crazy.
And Limbo.
So a little background on it. It's done by I Am 8-Bit, who does, some limited video game releases, and they do really cool merchandise. So they're partnered with Real Doll, who makes some sex toys, to make something for this game that costs $370. And they're not announcing what it is until it ships.
Well, it is called Inside, so I'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, very strange. So the best rumor that I've heard is this is their new game. And I think that's actually probably true. It's probably Limbo Inside. There is a character in Inside that would kind of make sense as a collectible, but it's not really. I don't know how big it would have to. That's an expensive collectible, yeah. And I think it might have some promotion thing for their new game in it, and I think that's probably
Maybe it's
true.
just a blow up doll of that character.
I would hope not, but yeah, I have no clue. I'm very interested in this, but yeah, it doesn't ship until 2019.
That's crazy.
We don't.
It's
know.
just weird to announce it now without like a full list of details.
Well, that's the thing. That's why people kind of think it might be their new game.
Yeah.
It's super weird to announce the price of it already. Like, hey, here's this. It doesn't
Well,
come
you
out
have to
for a
pre-order.
year.
You have to pre-order it now, and they're only doing a limited amount,
okay.
and that's it.
Gotcha.
And like shipping's super expensive.
Yeah.
Like this thing is heavy. Like I'm talking like probably $100.
That's insane.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not one for like grab bags and loot.
Yeah.
I mean, this feels like what are those like loot box things?
Oh,
that you
it
can
feels
order?
like a real loot box.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
those are cool.
It is, but like
I don't get them for a good reason, but I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah.
I think ones are cool where it's something that you can enjoy no matter what. Like food. Like the
Yeah.
ones that come with food. It's like, oh, okay, that's neat. The ones that come with like random Funko Pops and shit, I don't want.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that was a waste of money.
Yeah, I agree. I kind of want to get like the T-shirt one. You get like a different like random T-shirt every month.
Yeah.
That'd be cool.
But anyway, yeah, I don't know what this is. I'm very interested in it. I'm obviously not going to buy it. I actually wasn't that big of
Yeah, I'm
an
just curious
inside guy.
what it is.
But I'm excited to figure out what it is. Next up, Fortnite is coming to mobile. So this is a very interesting and a random announcement. And starting Monday, it goes live in beta on iOS, and it's coming to Android later. So they're putting up brand new servers for mobile players, and you're going to be able to do your dailies and everything. Your account is going to be linked. So if you log in on with your PS4 stuff on the mobile, everything's transferring over. If you log in on PC, everything's there, so you don't lose your.
So it's the same game, basically. Okay.
It's your same character.
I didn't know if
You
it was
don't-
like a spin-off sort of title.
No,
or,
it is the same game. They said graphics are comparable to the console, all that stuff.
See you, phone battery.
Yeah, so very interesting. I found out that PUBG also announced a phone version, and that was like months ago. And then Fortnite announces it, and it's coming out on Monday. So that is rough. It is going to be completely cross-compatible. Like I said,
Except
you
for
can.
with the Xbone.
Yeah, so the Xbox is not included in the cross-compatible list, but Xbox players are still going to be able to play with. It seems like it's like PC can play with PS4, PC can play with phone can play with PS4, PC can play with Xbox, phone can play with Xbox, but Xbox and PS4 can't play together. It seems
Right.
like that's what's locked out. They're changing a little bit, like the way that they do the servers. It seems like if you're part of PC, you're getting paired only with PC. If you're part of PS4, you're getting paired with only PS4. And I think once you cross, you're going into like this cross server, so that you'll have people that are mixed with your party,
Yeah.
which might explain why we get destroyed when we do
We
duos in
don't get
Fortnite.
it's usually we usually get like top 8 and then get destroyed.
Sure.
Yeah.
We don't win.
That's true.
And I'm
wonder-
going to blame it because you're the only PC person I play with. I'm just pretending I'm playing all PC players when I'm
Yeah,
playing with you.
it feels like it. And they're like they're building really fast. They're like switching guns really fast. I hope there's some kind of like cool mobile exclusive. Like you link your account, you get some cool. Like,
Yeah, they have the PlayStation exclusive outfit,
Right.
and I assume there's an Xbox exclusive outfit. I don't know, but yeah, I would assume so. Some other big news you can infer from this game is coming to Switch. I would assume by the end of the year, Fortnite is on Switch, and it's probably a upscaled mobile version of the game. So that'll be cool. But yeah, Fortnite mobile, out of nowhere.
Is there like a headset for the Switch?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there's a headset.
There's a nice little bypass, basically, for that. But yeah.
Yeah, there's that, but I mean, just like you can use the PlayStation Bluetooth headset and
Okay,
stuff like that
gotcha,
on it.
gotcha.
Yeah, that works fine. But for actually talking to people, no, you need to go through your phone.
Use a third party. Yeah.
Really?
Yes,
That sucks.
yes. There is
Just
no.
download Discord on your phone and you're good.
We don't need to compliment it anymore. There is no positive to their voice chat. It is horrible. Kills your phone battery. Kills your Switch. It's just the worst.
And you're already using your phone for the mobile version, so
Yeah, just play it on your phone,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
you'll always have voice chat. So anyway, that was really weird to me, but I'm excited because that means I can just do my dailies while, I'm doing other stuff, and that'll be nice.
I do think it's weird that they announced this before they would announce it coming to Switch.
I might be testing it.
I
who
do
knows?
as well. I think this Switch is a holiday release.
Yeah, I can see that.
Or like it'll be an E3 announcement that Fortnite's out now for the Switch, because Fortnite seems to do a lot of out now things.
Yeah.
Like it's coming to phone Monday and 50 versus 50 live now. Like they do.
It's
a lot
still
of
not
that
actually
stuff.
out. Like it's still in like beta, right?
What?
The battle royale.
Correct.
It's
It's
not like an
still
official
in
thing.
early access.
Yeah. Same with the.
I don't know what that means.
Same with the other one.
I think that just means that they're still adding to it, though. They're
Yeah.
saying it's not finished,
Right.
which is it's never going to be finished until the game's dead. So it doesn't matter. Early access is stupid. It doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like
It's
according to
kinda like
that
art.
logic, Rainbow Six Siege is in early access. It's the same thing.
It's a live game.
Yeah, no, I mean that's what it is. It's a game as a service, but they're just
I feel like they
bypassing that.
promote it as a like.
It's also weird because on Xbox it says beta,
Yeah.
and on PS4 it says early access
Right.
in the loading screen. I'm like, this is strange.
Sometimes, maybe not so much with Fortnite, but I feel like there's like a defense mechanism. Like, oh, but it's
don't
not finished.
don't
They did it-
criticize our game.
they
Don't
did it-
review it yet.
They did it with Ark Survival. It was like a year of it being in early access or whatever.
Yeah, I think it may have been longer than that, but yeah,
And then it was like, hey, the game's released.
it was like a
and
$90
nothing
game.
changed. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. All right, let's move into the big news. Well, I guess we'll talk really quick about that. The tweet from CD Projekt Red.
Nice little thing that I wanted to.
Since I didn't put it on
squeeze in
here
there.
because I don't.
Yeah, I looked it up
Yeah,
while
she's
you were
awesome.
talking. So basically, during the week, during all this other madness going on, CD Projekt Red, I guess their lead guy, just tweeted out, and let me read the actual tweet itself. He said, "What if Geralt, main character from the Witcher games, was to appear in another game released this year?"
The app closed on his phone.
What if Geralt was to appear in another game that was to be released later this year in 2018? And so that kind of stirred the pot a little bit. Obviously, a lot of people just throwing out guesses randomly. A lot of people say Soul Calibur just because his aesthetic sort of matches up.
A
It's
lot of
sort
Injustice too, which I think is weird.
That was weird.
Injustice because I think Injustice will take just about anything at this point. It doesn't have to make like thematic sense, like Ninja Turtles showing. I'm sure
They're
they
comic
did.
book characters.
I'm sure they did a cool backstory for
tied
it.
together.
But
There's
Yeah.
literally a Batman
Brainiac's
Ninja
like,
Turtles
we won't get
comic
into
right
that.
now.
some people were saying Smash Brothers even before Nintendo
What a
Direct happened.
horrible idea.
It'll
Wow.
be fine.
I mean, that game will almost accept anyone at some degree.
That's true.
But yeah, just a lot of people throwing out guesses.
If I'm
maybe,
picking Smash Bros. Characters, I think I'd pick another character with a sword to
Yeah.
come to battle. That sounds great.
some people also kind of took it to mean like, is this like a Cyberpunk 2077 thing? Does he go through like some sort of like time portal to
Alright.
get there?
It's Soul Calibur, right?
Yeah,
There's no way.
I think it's Soul Calibur.
I think it's
Yeah.
90% Soul Calibur because that makes the most sense for like a PC exclusive, I think, or
I
maybe
think
an
it's just gonna-
Xbox.
I think it's just gonna be exclusive.
Yeah,
to
I-
all of them.
I
like
also-
they did with 5.
I also think the character's just going to be in every version of the game.
That I will accept.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that.
But yeah, it was cool. I like the way that they handled it, and not just like here's an announcement sort of thing. Like I like them leaving it kind of dangling.
Yeah,
because
people were
that's
freaking about it.
Yeah, people are freaking out about it. But it's also something to keep like in the back of your head during like E3 because you're watching for the trailer.
You'll be
Okay,
waiting
this
for
is
it.
pretty cool, and then you're like. You know, and I don't know, I'm picturing something like a camera panning back and you see footsteps. You're like, is this him? Is this him? Oh, it's not him. And like, you're just kind of waiting for it the whole time. So it seems pretty cool.
Yeah, I think he fits too well into Soul Calibur for it not to be Soul Calibur. I also really do think 2B fits really well into Soul Calibur, though, and would very much like her there.
So yeah,
and I think there's... Because I remember she was the rumored Tekken character, and it ended up being Noctis, which makes me feel like since those are so closely related, she might actually be a Soul Calibur
People are
character
still
as well.
saying like Noctis for Soul Calibur. I was like, there's no way.
I will accept it.
It makes more sense there than Tekken.
I don't know, just the aesthetic fits and him not really having to say too much as far as like lines and stuff like that. I don't know. It just feels, I mean, he's got sword combat. It feels right for him to be housed in Soul Calibur.
I definitely think he looks the part.
Yeah, I mean,
is the big thing.
Yeah, the aesthetic is the big part. And if they do console exclusives, I mean, I can lock him in for an Xbox or PC, and then they do 2B for PS4, and then something else. Maybe that One Piece character that they're talking about, but I hope that doesn't happen.
Yeah, I don't know.
That'd be trash.
That's in all the leaks and stuff. But yeah, I hope he shows up. And if he's in every version, sweet.
Yeah, that's honestly what I think will happen. I imagine that'll be an E3 thing, so we can do E3 when we do our E3 predictions.
Someone's going to steal it from
somebody's going to put that on there, so get ready. All right. Nintendo Direct. So there was a 30-minute Nintendo Direct that had some spicy meatballs in there, some duds. So we're just going to go over all the announcements really quick. We'll talk about the ones that mattered to us, but there's some that I legitimately don't care about at all, and I'm sure you guys don't either. But we'll start at the top and kind of run down. First off, Dylan's Dead Heat Breaker is coming to the 3DS. So this was like a super small, I think like Wii game or something like that. That's getting made for the 3DS. Don't care. Just stop telling me 3DS stuff. Let the past die, as quoted in a horrible movie.
The worst movie.
We're done here. Next up.
I like the past.
I
too.
enjoy my 2DS, so I'll take whatever.
The original Luigi's Mansion is getting remade for the 3DS. This is going to include a boss rush mode. This is awesome, and then they were like 3DS only. I'm like, just give me it on the Switch.
Yeah.
You already remade it.
I don't mind games going for both, but like it's mobile. It's a mobile machine. Like just kill the 3DS already. Just
and I know it's really popular. It's sold however many millions of units. That like the install base is
it
there.
was a huge success.
But
just kill it.
It's time.
Don't kill it yet.
It's time.
I don't want to buy a Switch.
Man, Switches were so cheap yesterday.
Yeah, they
were.
were.
Oh my
Were they?
gosh. Yeah, they were like 200.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
The accessories aren't cheap, but
No, but yeah, the gray Switch was 220 shipped. Yeah,
Dang.
it's really good. Next up, Dark Souls for the Switch is getting an Amiibo. So this is, what is it? Praise the Sun?
Solaire. Yep.
This is an
Solaire
emote.
Vestora.
If you scan it, you get to do the emote earlier in the game. I don't know what that means. Some people were mad about this. I don't know why. Please explain.
Basically, Solaire, the character, is from, I think it's the first Dark Souls game, but he is just like wildly popular just for his Praise the Sun, which is like a religious kind of thing. It's in the game, and the emote that he does, like the big flying V, it looks like, is just kind of just a mainstay in all the games, and they've always shown up. There's been, in some games, there's been like ways for you, sort of like Easter eggs, like if you look at the sun or something like that on top of this one hill and do the Praise the Sun, like something happens. Gestures and stuff like that actually matter every now and then. But there's also, with like the PvP in the game and stuff like that, it's like a taunt thing as well. So
Gotcha.
It's just kind of like a nice Easter egg. Sometimes it actually has like a gameplay mechanic tied behind it, but most of the times it's just like, remember this one dude in a game that's not really like known for like characters. I mean, you know their names, like of the bosses that you kill and some of the dudes that you run into, like the NPCs, but like obviously with no story and narrative, you don't really have like a lot to base like characterization off of. So him being around for as long as he has been is just pretty cool, and his amiibo is awesome.
It's also GameStop exclusive here in the US and apparently incredibly limited. It's already sold out in stores and online, and it seems like they're done.
I
So
keep feeling this nagging urge to like really try and get one, but
You waited too long.
I know. Yeah, I waited 2 days, so it's way too long.
Fuck me. Next up, Captain Toad Treasure Tractor is coming to the Switch. Literally to the surprise of no one. This is their thing. Every Direct they announce a new Wii U game that's ported over. Where the fuck is Tokyo Mirage? Give me Tokyo Mirage so I can be the happiest Switch owner ever and praise the Switch.
Yeah.
But this is one that I thought was coming next for sure. I think Mario Maker is an E3 announcement that one's coming.
I can see that.
But yeah, there's not much left for them to do. Hyrule Warriors is coming out. Like they are running out of exclusives, which I actually think is kind of cool. This comes with a new like multiplayer mode where you can give one person the Joy-Con and they don't get to have any fun, and then the other person just gets to play the game. So that's cool. And then it is coming out July 13th, and it's also coming to the 3DS, and it also has new levels that are like New Donk City and some other kingdoms from Mario Odyssey. So that's cool. I'm still not... I don't know if you played Mario 3D World. The Captain Toad stuff was always my least favorite part of that, and for some reason people really attached to it so much so that they made a game of it, and now they're re-releasing the game with more stuff, and I'm just like...
There's strong support for Captain Toad.
Yeah, I don't get it. Not my cup of tea. But for those Captain Toad fans, which there's a lot of, there you go. Next up, this was awesome to me because it just shows that the Switch is really trying to reach everybody, and that is South Park, The Fractured But Whole, is coming to the Switch. And as soon as South Park showed up in the Nintendo Direct, I was like, they are going for it. Like, they are not, scared to be like, ooh, kid console, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was awesome. So this does not come with Stick of Truth, which is interesting. And it's coming out April 24th, so coming pretty soon. I'm upset that I got this on PS4, to be honest, because I would love to play it on Switch.
I think it's awesome that they're coming out with this, but I think it's really dumb that they're not including the Stick of Truth.
I agree. They probably just didn't port Stick of Truth yet, would be my guess. But
it just kind of sucks. Especially if you've never played it and you just are playing the...
Is it like a direct... Like, do you need to play Stick of Truth?
You definitely don't need to, no.
Okay.
No, yeah, it's kind of like watching another episode of the show. I would say it's
but there's
on
like
the,
little tips to it while you're playing the game.
Yeah, like on the last episode they played Wizard or Dungeons and Dragons or whatever you want to say, and on this episode they're playing Marvel superheroes. Next up, Okami HD is coming to the Switch this summer.
Yeah.
Another game that I wish I waited for and bought on the Switch.
Still gonna buy it for a Switch. Just I want to support Okami.
Interesting. I also might buy it on the Switch if it is cheap, because that game was only $20 at launch for PS4 and PC and all that stuff. It will not be for Switch. I guarantee you it'll be like $40.
I think it has some cool implementation possibilities.
Yes, you get to do the painting on the touchscreen, which is really cool.
Yeah.
So I actually might hold off on playing Okami and grab it for the Switch.
It might make it, because when you're using joysticks, it could be a little bit awkward, I guess. It's not enough to hurt the gameplay.
To be fair, that's how it was designed.
Yeah.
On the PS2.
But yeah, if you get to use your hand, then awesome.
I love
using
my
motion
hand.
control or something like that.
Next up, Mario Tennis Aces is coming June 22nd, and they had a whole bunch of gameplay stuff with this. They talked about some stuff that scared me, some stuff that was interesting. You can do, basically you have a meter that fills up, and you can do certain things like do a shot where it freezes, and you get to aim in first person exactly where you want to hit it, and hit it there. That's cool. You can smash somebody else's racket if you get a direct hit on it, and it disqualifies them from the match, and you just win instantly.
That's nice.
That's not good. You get to play as a chain chomp for the first time ever, I think, in
cool.
Mario history, so that's neat. Rosalina's in it, so I'm buying it.
I'm buying it, and I am dying for more sports games.
Really?
So, strikers, come on through, baseball, whatever. Come on.
I'm excited to play this with you guys.
For sure.
Cool. Next up, probably my favorite announcement. Octopath Traveller is officially the name of Project Octopath Traveller. They took all of our feedback that we gave them a few months ago into consideration for the demo, and the game's coming out July 13th. That was just such a surprise to me. They're like, oh, by the way, the game comes out in like 3 months. Like, what? Really?
I'm surprised they didn't rename it to Final Fantasy 16.
A lot of people thought they were going to do that. Yeah. This game is awesome. I loved the demo. They announced 3 new characters for it. And the whole idea of it, as just a quick kind of recap, is it is a 16-bit-ish game, but it's also got this like 3D lighting to it, so it looks really cool. It's got shadows and everything, even though it's like
cool.
16-bit. And it's very adult. There's, it's rated M. The humor is very adult. The character situations are very adult. They all curse and all this stuff, which is really strange when you're playing it. It's all voice acted, which is also very strange for a 16-bit game. The combat is awesome. It's got the whole like weakness system where you're trying to break down their armor kind of so that you can do actual damage to them. And the kind of gimmick of the game is that there's 8 characters, it seems, Octopath, and depending on what character you pick, you get to do different things that other characters could bypass or do differently. So, like, the dancer can maybe get some guards away from the spot so that she can sneak in later unguarded, whereas the thief might not even be able to go into the town because people are like, "You're a thief, get the fuck out of our town." Like,
That's pretty sweet.
Not a good thief, but
like they have different systems like that.
Yeah.
This one character can lockpick, so they're able to do stuff that other characters would
Is
have
it
to
the
do would have to do a whole mission for.
Yeah.
He's
And
just a locksmith.
one person gets to, it might be the dancer, gets to, she can read the stats of all the characters in the game, and she can recruit them to the party to fight
cool.
with you.
That's cool.
I think that's the dancer. I think that's one of her abilities. So, really neat. Loved this demo.
Dancer sounds OP.
Well, that's who I played as
Yeah,
in the demo,
you would.
so it's the only one I know.
Shaking your hips and moving like enemy patrols away
Oh,
and recruiting
yeah.
everyone.
Oh yeah,
That sounds
it's
sweet.
great, but only if they're guys. I think that's like the twist to it.
Yeah.
Or lesbian.
But
It sounds
Sure.
like a very Elder Scrolls take to that sort of game, which
It
is
does.
pretty, because I mean that's the point of choosing like different
it's sort of
characters, different
weird.
races.
Yeah, it does
Um,
kind of feel like a demake of Elder Scrolls.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I really, really liked it. Loved the demo. I think I had it besides Mega Man 11 as my most anticipated
Yeah.
game for this year.
Nice.
And the fact that it's coming out in a few months is awesome.
It's
so.
a really good time for it
Yeah,
to come
that's
out
sweet.
too. You said July 13th.
Yes.
Yeah, I will buy it day one.
Yep, me too. Next up, Undertale is coming to the Switch eventually. I don't care. I'm sure people are very excited about that. Not my cup of
More
tea.
exposure.
Next up, No More Heroes Travis Strikes Again has gameplay footage, and it looks kind of like, it's definitely like an more indie style game. Looks a bit like Fury, some sort of top-down hack and slashy thing going on. Very neon, very pretty. I'm not interested in this game at all. I know you are more of a No More Heroes guy.
I'll
but
pick it up. I like me some Travis Touchdown.
arguably, the biggest surprise for a lot of people, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is coming to the Switch July 10th.
Yeah.
I believe it's also coming to PC and Xbox One, but they just haven't said that. But I think you could pre-order for it.
They probably wouldn't say it in a Nintendo Direct.
in the
by
Nintendo
way.
Direct. Yeah, that was like when they announced Dark Souls. They're
Yeah.
like, for the Switch, and everybody's like, woo! And I was like, going to pre-order. I'm like, PS4? Let's do that one. This is awesome. I think I'm going to get this for the Switch again. Crash Bandicoot. So for me, I have really like 2 games that I always call like comfort food games, which is just when I'm not in the mood to play anything, I can put these on, play them kind of mindlessly, and I have the muscle memory of everything down so much that I'm satisfied when I just play it for 15, 20 minutes because I restart, I do what I know, I shut it off. When I play it again, I restart, I do what I know, and it's just like, this
That's a lot of
gratifying thing.
people's like Rocket League and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
So those games are good for.
So like Mega Man 3, Mega Man 6, and Crash Bandicoot 2 and Warped are those games for me. They're the games that I can just hop into, play for 15 minutes, not get hit, do everything perfectly because I know them so well, feel accomplished, and just shut them off. Both those games are coming to Switch this year, so I'll be picking up
Nice.
Mega Man and Crash Bandicoot for the Switch most likely.
The Crash
Possibly
one was super weird because it's the first time it's not been on PlayStation.
those games, yeah.
Yeah.
They've removed all the Naughty Dog stuff. There's like Drake's in the game and like an Easter egg and stuff like that. They've removed all that from the screenshots you can see. But yeah, it's awesome that it's coming there, but it is very weird for sure. But it's also Activision, so it's not very surprising.
Yeah.
Next up, Sushi Striker Way of the Sushido is coming to the Switch. This is a...
You almost messed
baby.
that up real bad.
Did I?
I said you almost did.
Huh. There, do or do
It's
not.
hard.
There is no try. This is a match 3 puzzle game with sushi trains. I don't know. I kind of checked
like
out during this
sushi
trailer.
trains.
I'm going to be honest.
It makes me hungry for sushi.
Yeah, I had some last night. It was delicious.
Good story.
Thank you. Next up is Little Nightmares, which is something I had last night. Coming out May 18th on the Switch. This is a really cool, very like inside almost, Coraline art style horror puzzle platformer where you're this little kid in a raincoat. You're trying to get kind of from point A to point B, solve these puzzles, and there's gruesome characters kind of in the background that are looking for you. Like you're teeny and they're big and they're looking under things for you, and you got to hide and kind of stay away from them. It's cool. It's not that long. I would rather play this on like PS4, Xbox One, PC, something like that. But with that said, always happy to see an indie game go over to Switch and do a little better.
Is it
$380? No.
Confirmed better than Inside.
Well, Inside's only like $15. Just the collector's edition is $380. Next up on the same day is Hyrule Warriors coming to Switch. This has all the DLC and everything. Super excited for this. Really like Hyrule Warriors. And I never bought any of the DLC, so it's going to have all these campaigns that I didn't get to do. And I think that similar to Fire Emblem Warriors, I think that's a great like grind game that you can just play whenever you feel like it, level up your characters, and move on with your day. Next up, Splatoon 2 has over 100 new outfits. They have like a whole summer collection or something coming. And then they have 2 new stages, I believe, also coming. And then they announced that the first paid DLC is coming for the game. It's going to be $20. It's called the Octo expansion, and it is a single-player mode where you get to play as Agent 8, very cute, and you have to go through 80 test facilities, sounds like Portal, that are all connected by a subway. So basically, you start on a subway, you do the test, you get to the end of the subway, you go to the next test chamber, you go to the next one, and it's literally like Splatoon Portal, it seems.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, and then if you finish that, you unlock all of the Octoling hairstyles and characters for multiplayer. So you get to play multiplayer as an Octoling, which a lot of people have been asking for since Marina showed up as an Octoling in the Inkling world, which people were
That's a hell of a grind, but that's a cool reward.
I like this game, but why I don't like it is because I'm trash at the PvP. So I think I would like enjoy playing that kind of game style as a single player game.
Yeah, like I like doing the single player whenever I just didn't have internet, because you can't do the PvP. Like there's no good PvP stuff when you don't have internet.
Yeah.
And then you can unlock weapons and stuff for the multiplayer, or money to purchase stuff for the multiplayer. And this to me, I think, is perfect because I do want to jump back into that game. It gives me a reason to jump back in.
Yeah.
The Octoling stuff looks cool. Like,
yeah, that sounds sweet.
It's all upside for me.
I'm glad they got.
Though I will say $20 is kind of a lot more than I thought it would be.
Yeah,
but we'll see what it includes.
Usually Nintendo's pretty good about making it valuable. So
it's cool that they're giving like sweet support to the game though.
Yeah, it makes it feel like they're not trying to annualize it too, so that's good.
Yeah. Next up, there is WarioWare 300 mini games for the 3DS coming August 3rd. Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is coming for 2019. And then it ended. That was it. All the announcements were done. Everybody was like, oh, cool. But we have one more thing. And ink splattered. And I went, oh, Splatoon 1 remastered. And then I went, nope, that would be really stupid. This is Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
Then the Inkling turns around, Smash Ball appears, you see some silhouettes in the fire, which we're going to talk about, and then Super Smash Brothers, that's all we know, 2018.
Yeah.
Cool. So we're going to hop into some comments, and then we're going to do a question, which is, what characters do we think are going to show up in the Smash? Do we think it's going to be a new Smash Brothers? All of that. So let's hit comments really quickly, and then we'll go into the Smash discussion. The first one from Zach Yoder says, you are right that most Nintendo games are super popular. Most Nintendo games that are super popular don't have a story, but it just shows how great the gameplay is in those games. But also, don't forget Fire Emblem and Xenoblade have pretty good stories and also have amazing gameplay. I will give you Fire Emblem, completely overlooked when I was naming those. That being said, every Sony game has a story. Well, every Microsoft game has a story.
Well, what I was saying, or at least meant to say in my head last week was, yeah, they do have those Xenoblade games and the Fire Emblem games that feel more like PS4 or Sony-type games, but they get fair rating or fair reviews. They get the 80s, they get the high 80s, or the like maybe low 90s in some places.
They have a story that people can ding.
Yeah,
Points for.
but people ding those and say, oh, tropey characters or whatever. They give it
Mario's not tropey at all.
They give it the fair treatment, but the Breath of the Wilds and the Marios just get the free pass. So I think that's where we're going with it. He's completely correct. But yeah, those games get the 80s and stuff like that.
I agree. Next up, World End says, actually, it was confirmed Microsoft planned 360 backwards compatibility for Xbox One since the start. They didn't do it because they heard shit. Eurogamer Digital Foundry has an article up about how 360 backwards compatible works on the Xbox One, and they said that it has 360 hardware in it. That's why they were able to do it. They had the hardware built in from the start. That might be true.
Yeah.
I went down a rabbit hole watching a bunch of Digital Foundry stuff after that. Witcher 2 doesn't look that good on the Xbox One X. The PC version looks so they redid like the whole textures and everything, and I don't know what they did to that game. But anyway, they still supported it and released it. They still support it by putting out games constantly for it, which is really awesome. They've moved on to do original Xbox games now. Like, this wasn't just like, even though it was built in and they, had the on and off switch, like, I remember the famous, you can't just flip a switch and, and remove it and then they flip the switch. So yes, even if it was planned from the start, that's not how I've understood it. I've heard that this was a Phil Spencer forward-thinking thing. Is like one of his first things that he's done when he took over. But either way, even if it's not, it doesn't change that it's awesome, that it's still very good for consumers, that they're still supporting it fully, and the fact that now they're adding on the Xbox One X enhancements, the original Xbox games, all of that.
Yeah, if it was just super forward-thinking, I guess, before Phil Spencer, then it's just like reverting like how to praise them, basically.
Right.
Thanks for the forethought of putting it in there and eventually knowing that you're gonna need to break that glass and use it.
It's still a positive, regardless of if it was reactionary or not.
Yeah.
We're being positive that week, though. So let's move into kind of our discussion for today, which is going to be, what do we think this Smash Bros. Game is, and what do we think the roster is going to be looking like for it? All right, so first off, there's been a lot of back and forth. Is this a Wii U port? Is this a new game?
I think,
what is this?
I initially was like 80-20 on it's a Wii U port. The timing, and I've said it since probably the end of last year into early this year when we did the predictions. I was just like, this has to be the last year or else it's a new game, sort of thing. Like, that was my kind of ultimatum. I kind of forgot how quickly they shipped out Melee. I think Melee had a 2-year development cycle, but there's all sorts of stories, sort of like the Digital Foundry thing you were talking about. There's all sort of like background stories in the fact that they rushed it out for GameCube. It's sort of support the system.
I think it was supposed to be a launch game, and it didn't even make that.
So they rushed out Melee to some degree, according to all these, kind of background articles. So, it doesn't have to be 4 or 5 years in between each one, basically. So that kind of threw that idea out the window. I think ever since then, the announcement, initially when I first saw it live or whatever, I was just like, oh, it's the Wii U port, finally. Because I kind of already held those rigid standpoints of, if it's this year, it's a Wii U port. If it's not, then new game. But since then, you've had the creator, or like sort of the developer of the game, come out and say, yeah, I've been working on this for a while. You've had some other kind of background, like tweets and stuff like that, popping up, and just the more and more I read, I think I've shifted from 80-20 in favor of Wii U port to, I think, like 80-20 in favor of it's Smash 5 or whatever you want to call it.
I'm like 90-10, it's a new game.
Yeah.
There's a lot of evidence that it's a new game. It's a new logo. Obviously just including new characters. The fact that it says original game by HAL and not Bandai Namco, who did
that's a big one.
Who did the last Smash. So maybe they're doing kind of a Call of Duty thing where they have 2 different companies kind of working on it. The fact that, Sakurai tweeted, this is a new thing, but that's all translation stuff, so that can be lost in translation. But one of the biggest things to me is they wiped the Wii U website, the Smash Reveals website, and now it's just like Inkling.
Yeah.
That's the reveals, and it's like, oh,
this
we're getting we're going to get a lot of
it,
reveals for this game.
It felt different, and the trailer, I thought that was probably their best Smash trailer.
Also, I disagree, but also why wouldn't they just say this is Smash for the Wii U?
Yeah.
Like,
That's what I was thinking.
There is absolutely no reason for them to not be like, hey guys, all the Wii U stuff is in here if it's not.
Yeah, and that's the part that throws me. How I always go from like leaning one way to another with Nintendo stuff is because they don't just announce things in a usual manner. They just have their own Nintendo thing. Once again, they just kind of do their own thing, like sidebar thing. Whereas if it was a Microsoft or a Sony game, they would announce it kind of in similar fashions.
Right.
They wouldn't have announced. They would have waited till E3.
Yeah.
But now everybody's going into E3 going Smash, Smash.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it's going to be playable. They're probably going to have like 30 plus minutes of just announcements and explaining what's new and all that stuff.
I definitely if this is a new game, which I think it is going to be. I feel like they're, it's definitely going to have that same Smash feel like they all do, but I think they'll do a lot of like kind of like a almost like resurrection of Smash.
See, I think this is going to be
like a reboot.
I think this is going to be like Madden. It's going to be the Wii U. The character models are going to probably be the same as the Wii U one. The gameplay is the characters probably only are going to have tweaks.
There's not a big technological jump between Wii U and
it's
this.
going to feel like the Wii U one, but it's also going to have enough new stages and enough new characters and a different enough roster to be like, this is a new Smash. To be honest, Smash for 3DS and Smash for Wii U are different games.
Yeah.
They just have the same
For sure.
roster. They
Yeah.
have some overlapping stages, and then they have a whole bunch of non-overlapping stages. And I think this is going to be some from Wii U, some from 3DS, some new ones,
Bam.
and another, there's a lot of all these things, like the theme that played when the Smash Ball showed up in the trailer has never been heard before in a Smash game, and every Smash game has a different theme. So they're like, this is the new Smash game. This is the new theme for Smash. There's all this stuff. So I'm assuming it's a new one as well.
Yeah, I think it's a new one. I hope it gets kind of revitalized. Just like I feel like the Zelda did on this new console, the Mario Kart,
Well, yeah. The other thing
a
about
lot of these games.
the other thing
feel a
about the
lot
trailer
different.
too is that it was just very different. Like the past couple of games have always done the cinematic, animation cinematic, but it's also done the new challenger approaching thing. It's always done a weird story mode thing. This one is just the iconic symbol silhouettes and just it's almost like we would like to play, but it's sort of like join us sort of thing.
Yeah, to me, I think it's because they rushed it out. It doesn't even have a title yet or anything. And it said 2018, but you know what? They hit Mario, they hit Zelda, they hit all these games. I believe them.
I mean, they hit Xenoblade too.
I believe them.
Yeah.
That is the craziest thing is Nintendo says 2018 for a Smash game we know nothing about besides one character. I believe you.
Yeah.
So anyway, let's talk about this roster.
Yeah.
So I think we got some obvious things going on, right?
Yeah, and I know people that's probably been one of the hottest YouTube video trends probably lately was looking at the silhouette, freeze framing it, and then just kind of figuring out who's this. There's some obvious choices.
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron.
There's some obvious choices. I mean, Bowser's always going to look like Bowser. Donkey Kong's head is probably bigger than most characters. Stuff like that.
Dumb poop.
So I think for this roster talk, I mean, you can probably whittle out Link, obviously, Mario, obviously,
Yeah,
stuff
so
that.
I'm just going to go over normal ones,
Yeah.
and we'll just kind of say yes to them. Here we go. So Mario,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Luigi,
Yeah.
Peach,
Yeah.
Bowser,
Yes.
Dr. Mario.
Don't know.
Not
I
sure.
think yes. I think that's too easy to use the same character. Yoshi,
Yes.
Donkey Kong,
Yes.
Diddy Kong,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, Link,
Mhm.
Zelda, Sheik,
Yeah.
Ganondorf,
Mhm.
Toon Link.
Probably.
Maybe.
I also think probably.
Maybe.
Samus,
Mm-hmm.
Zero Suit Samus,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Kirby,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Meta Knight.
Most likely.
Maybe.
I think
I
Meta
think-
Knight is one of the first party ones that I'd put a question mark on.
But they're still in the process of bumping up Kirby's popularity, I think. So
Yeah.
I
Sure.
think they
I
need
mean,
to
he's
keep
got
him in
enough
there.
characters. As we move to King DDD,
Yeah.
who I think is in there. Fox,
Mhm.
yes. Falco, yes. Pikachu,
For sure.
yeah. Jigglypuff,
I think so, yeah. That one's kind of been a mainstay.
yeah. So Charizard.
Probably not.
You think
Yeah,
Charizard's going to be
I'd
the
say
first
I
this-
to go?
hope they do something different with the Pokemon.
Yeah.
Well, they did Pokemon Trainer, and then they axed that, and they
Yeah.
just made it Charizard.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird. So that Charizard's kind of our first. We'll see.
U2 came back, right?
Huh?
Uh-huh.
U2 came
Yeah,
back.
that's the next one that I was gonna name. But yeah, okay. So we'll put. I'm gonna write Charizard and just put a question mark because I'm just curious. Just
I think for sure. I mean, I can probably sit here and count, but I think there's like a solid 16 that are just for sures.
I think
just
there's
like
a
amazing.
solid like 30
Yeah.
that are for sure.
I always forget
and
how
it-
big the rosters are in this game.
It's like
crazy.
almost 60
Yeah,
characters.
it's crazy.
It's
And the
huge.
thing is, with the current trend of release a handful of fighters and then do DLC packs, are they going to kind of fall into that?
Yes.
But you have to remember they're not Bandai Namco anymore. Like they're
maybe
so
we don't think that.
Yeah. So that's interesting to note because I mean you probably heard me mention it a couple of times. I think fighting games do DLC the worst.
Oh,
Just
yeah.
As a genre, I think they just do it the worst. So it's interesting because Nintendo prices their stuff usually better.
I was
or at
about to
least
say I
bang
think
for buck.
Smash has the best DLC.
Bang for buck, they're probably the best out of all the major competitors, but I'm interested to see if they go more the route of, hey, there's 40 on cartridge, and like, there'll be a couple here and there, or if they're going to say, hey, there's...
What if this is a live game? I've heard this
Ugh.
thrown out, and there's like 16, and they just add a new character every month.
That would suck.
Yeah, I wouldn't
That wouldn't help my comment from 2 seconds ago that fighting games do it the worst.
Yeah.
So,
I do think fighting games do DLC like not how I would like it,
Yeah.
but I think they do it in a way where it keeps you playing the game,
Yeah.
keeps you interested, which I
Some do.
understand why they do it.
Some do. I don't think Tekken does. They're like, oh, what's it been? 9 months? I
Yeah.
guess it's a good time to
Tekken,
release.
And it
Tekken
is-
takes their
yeah.
time, for
yeah,
sure.
that's for sure. And they don't have as many like characters.
No, not at all. Anyway, Lucario.
I don't think so.
You think Lucario is a mistake? So you
Yeah.
think they're axing these Pokemans?
Well,
Well, I think they're going to put new
they're
Pokemon.
I think they're going to replace them with
Yeah.
different people, but I think they're
Sceptile.
just because
Sceptiles in this game, I'm boycotting it.
just because some of these like Sun and Moon, like it's not a revamp or anything like that, but I think it's kind of like, hey, we want to get some of these new people in,
Yeah.
sort of thing. So
So what about Mewtwo? I think Mewtwo's
if he ever comes, it's going to be DLC.
I think
If he ever shows
Mewtwo
up.
and Lucario were incredibly similar, and it was very weird to have them both in the same
Yeah.
game. I think that you get one or the other, and I think you probably get Mewtwo over Lucario.
I don't know.
Um,
I wouldn't bet on either of them showing up, but I mean, it's Mewtwo has maybe more fans. I don't know.
I think as far
I
as
think
Pokemon go, it's going to be Pikachu, Jigglypuff, and then like 3 new ones that we haven't seen in another Smash.
interesting. You think it'll be like
Also,
the starters for?
This is
Some
the rumored year
maybe.
for a new Pokemon, so it could be.
Yeah, I don't think that's happening.
That would be
So
insane.
who knows?
The Smash game's definitely their big game.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Next up, I think one of the only characters that only has one person in their Smash lineup, Captain Falcon.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's in for sure.
Ness?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yes.
definitely Ness. Probably not.
What about Lucas? Did you
No.
know Lucas was DLC for?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I thought Lucas wasn't in it.
It was a big deal when Lucas actually joined back up.
I didn't remember that. So yeah, I don't think Lucas will make it either. Though I think he's more likely than some people we'll talk about in a minute. Marth,
I don't know.
Ike and Marth, yes, those are the only
locked Fire Emblem.
Fire
characters.
Emblem. Just because
Well, we
they're
got what do we
staples.
got? Corin, Robin, Roy. God damn it.
Yeah.
They had a bunch of them come out.
Yeah.
Lucina.
Insane.
Lucina. So
There's a
stupid.
bunch. I think there will be some like similar Fire Emblem representation, but I don't think it. I think they'll probably get rid of like that last little chunk and probably keep Roy as well. Like I'm sure he'll show up as DLC again. Everyone
so many
loves Roy,
characters in this
but
Mr. Game and Watch. I think he's in there.
I think so. I think he was cool enough to where people were like, yeah, we could use him.
Yeah,
back.
he's been there since Melee. Pit is definitely in.
Yeah,
Wario, I
for
think
sure.
is in.
For sure.
Olimar, I think is in.
Probably.
Rob, I could see them dropping. Rob felt kind of
Stealth?
no, just kind of like, isn't this cute type thing. Sonic is
Yeah,
the
Sonic
first
is
third-party
for
one, and I
sure
think
in.
he's in.
He is
Yeah.
for sure.
All right, so those are all characters that have been in multiple games. Now let's talk about some new coming characters. Rosalina, I think she's in.
Yeah.
For sure. People really liked Rosalina, and she is very competitive. Bowser Jr., I forgot this character was in the game, which is the problem when you have 60 characters in a fighting game.
I don't know what they're going to do about all the little like mini kids characters. So,
Yeah, they're all the same. They just change their skins.
So I would imagine those get dropped first when you're going from.
I could
old
see
game to new
like
game.
Luigi and Mario being in, like the baby Mario and baby Luigi.
Baby Mario and Baby Luigi?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. That'd be interesting. And more Pokemon. We got Greninja.
No, I think that was just like a timestamp sort of
Yeah.
character.
Robin, Lucina, Corrin, the Fire Emblem crew. Politana.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Politana's in
Yeah.
for sure. Dark Pit. I think Dark Pit is
Yeah.
also in. Villager. I think he's in.
Probably. They just haven't really done much with that series lately, I feel
They
like.
put out a mobile game.
Fair.
Yep.
Yeah. Little Mac.
I think so. I think it was
I
like
agree.
a nice little like character, sort of like the nostalgia thing, sure. But
Yeah,
I
we're
think
gonna
I
get
think
to
it fit
Duck
well.
Hunt soon. I agree. I think Little Mac would be in it still. So many characters, man. Wii Fit Trainer.
I don't think
I don't
so.
think so.
I think it
I
made
think
sense.
the name Wii is weird to have.
I think that was another timestamp thing. It made sense in the Wii U version just because it wasn't that far from the Wii. But I think
agree.
now that they've moved past it, I think
I want HD Rumble, man. Shulk.
no.
Do you think we get new Xenoblade Man?
Let's wait till the prediction round.
All right. Duck Hunt.
I think so. I think that's too good to
I agree.
pass
Yeah,
up.
he's cool. The Mii's. I think they are out of there.
I think they're
so
out.
quick.
Yeah.
I think the Mii's are absolutely gone.
I think there's going to be customization probably, but yeah.
Yeah, you could like customize your moveset sort of. So then we're getting into some weird characters. So here we go. Mega Man.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think Mega Man's going to be in it.
Mega Man's going to be in it for sure.
I don't think Capcom's
100%.
going to put him in. With that followed up, Ryu, I also don't think is going to be in it.
If they...
That'd be cool.
I mean, I didn't really have this in my prediction. If they do a character from Street Fighter, it'd probably be Ken. If they do, like, or maybe Akuma, I guess.
Ooh, baby.
Todd can play Akuma
wouldn't-
in every fight.
Yeah, I was going to say,
Yeah.
would that be sweet? Guest character for Soul Calibur, Akuma.
That'd be sick. Just
um,
gotta give him a weapon.
I don't think they'll do Ryu again, but I think if they do anything, if they do another Street Fighter thing, which there's Street Fighter on this system, it'll be Ken.
Interesting. See, I think Capcom is going to not have a guest character in this one. I just have a gut feeling.
Suck it up, Capcom. We need some of your guys.
Next, Pac-Man. I think Pac-Man is 100%.
Yeah.
in. He's Namco. They worked on the last one. I
Yeah.
think it's very easy. Bayonetta.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
she returns.
100%.
Yep.
Main roster, not DLC
And
this
then,
time.
yep. And probably the weirdest one, Cloud.
No.
I
I think
also-
that's
I
that's
also don't
like
think Cloud
I think
makes
that's like Snake.
I agree. I
just
think
kinda-
he's the one-shot guy.
Yeah. Be cool.
I think of the DLC people, I think Cloud is the most likely to leave, followed by Ryu, followed by Mega Man.
Yeah.
Sure. I agree with that.
All right. So with that said, we can throw out some new character ideas and kind of see just how we feel. I'm going to start first with Inkling Girl and Inkling Boy.
Damn,
This
you
is
got it.
This is what I've been wanting.
For
I'm
some
sold. I'm done already. Like
for
that's all I
some of
wanted.
these, I kind of like how you can change outfits or colors. I kind of like the male female option, so I did that with a couple of.
Oh,
my
they're
picks.
definitely going to be male female. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's. Yeah, they'll be male female. They'll probably have all their outfits, and they'll probably also have the Octoling outfits. If I had to guess.
I didn't do mine in any like specific order.
No, me neither. I'm making mine up off the top of my head. So.
Yeah, I did a list because I was bored at work. But I kind of base it in reality, but there's a little bit of like, I hope. Like, that would be cool.
right.
Just because Cloud and Snake kind of open the door for just about anything to be in these games.
Well, that's true.
First one I did is I just kind of called him what he's referred to in the games. He's a cursed undead from the Dark Souls series, basically the player character.
I do not think that has
Cool.
a chance of happening at all.
I think it would be cool.
We can throw our percents out. I say 1% for that one.
I'd say like 10 to 15%.
5.
Yeah,
I think it'd be really cool.
I think it would be sweet though.
All right,
Cloud made it.
let me throw this one out. I still don't know how that happened. Rayman. Rayman is
I've got that one on the list.
Ubisoft
I could actually see
character.
that. Yeah.
I could very much see
He
Rayman.
fits
kinda popping up.
the art well. Yeah.
And
And he would be interesting enough as far as like movesets and stuff like that.
yeah,
to
I would throw
incorporate.
Rayman at like 40. I think it's just over a 50-50 flip that he could
I
show up in
think
the
he
game.
would be DLC probably, but yeah, I'd say 50-50 shot. And feel free to jump in, Todd.
Sceptile. I think he's a big character in Pokken.
That's fair.
I could definitely see him being on here. Like Sceptile.
Why Sceptile though, and not like the
I just
new,
think he has a good
the new
moveset
Owl
for
Man?
Smash.
I just know the new Owl
Yeah.
dude.
Yeah.
He's in a lot of things, so I was curious why him and not.
He's
So
a
you're
really,
just
he's
going
just
for
like
more
a
like
fan
a
favorite.
like a classic
Yeah.
pick.
I mean, I definitely don't think it's not possible. I would say like 20 though. Just there,
I
I,
would
don't know,
definitely-
maybe even less than that. Just because there's so many Pokemon to choose from.
I would say they're
It's
gonna
almost 800.
they're gonna get people from Pokken.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh,
think-
the reason
think that's a good
I
thing.
think Rayman, by the way, is because they just had the Rabbids crossover
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And I think that shows that they're willing to kind of
Yeah.
do that. So, but sorry.
I mean, I would love Sceptile. That's the one I'm hoping.
Mhm.
But I think it's going to be some arrangement of characters from Pokken in this game.
That should be an easy crossover.
Yeah, exactly. It's easy. People are familiar with these characters.
They have
playing
movesets.
them. Yeah. People are going to want them in there, so I can definitely see that.
My next one, another long shot, and this one would be quite the spit in the face to its original home of Sony, Crash Bandicoot,
Yeah,
Oh, that would be sweet.
I hope to God this does not happen.
because he wasn't an All Stars.
Yeah, I think he's going to be in All Stars too.
Uh-huh.
I think they're working on All Stars 2. I think that was part of the deal that Sony, they worked so hard to get Crash in that game,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. And they worked so hard to get Cloud, and he's in
Yeah.
Smash,
Yeah.
and that felt so wrong. I don't want this to happen because I feel like that is so wrong, but I don't think it's not possible.
I'd say I'm like 2/3, so 66.
Wow.
6 repeating. I
high,
think that would be such like a mic drop moment.
Interesting.
Um,
I'd say like 10%.
People
and-
would freak.
Yeah, that would be like the hottest like reaction videos on YouTube probably that
Yeah.
week.
I mean, the Cloud one was huge,
Yeah,
and that
yeah.
doesn't make any fucking
Yeah.
sense. At least Crash sort of makes
Yeah.
sense. Yeah, I just think part of the whole Spyro and Crash deal is they are cooking up. Like, they're bringing back all these old franchises. That's a little suspicious.
Spyro in this game would be sick.
They brought back Parappa and Crash and Medieval, all these characters that should probably be in this, this
Yeah.
All-Stars game. That being said, if Sony does reveal All-Stars at E3, they're going to have an uphill battle if there's a Smash Brothers coming out this year. Roof. I would say like 10% though. I don't think it's not possible.
66.6 repeating.
I give it like
That's
50-50,
crazy.
especially with, obviously the Crash collection coming to Switch.
I feel like if Nintendo was chasing after one big just like haymaker, that would be the one.
Do you think it's
Ooh.
Crash?
That would be the one.
My big haymaker pick is Kratos.
All right, Todd. Next, Bomberman. This is somebody that I've wanted for a very long
Yeah.
time. They got an exclusive Switch game. I think Konami is willing to. Konami owns Hudson, which
Yeah.
is Bomberman. I think they're willing to work with Nintendo on this. I think we get Bomberman, who is. Unfortunately, because I don't think we're going to get Mega Man and Ryu and stuff in this, they kind of missed the boat of making the perfect Smash for me that had my Mega Man and my Bomberman, like all my childhood, favorites all in one game. But if Bomberman comes in, I feel like he fits so perfectly into Smash. He
I can see
already
that.
looks like it.
Yeah.
His moveset feels like I could draw out his moveset pretty easily. And I think that this one's likely. This is the first one that I'm like 50-50 on. I really think this
I mean,
one
Link
can happen.
has always had, I think it's just B, I think was his move, but he drops the bomb. So maybe if he doesn't have that move and Bomberman gets it, I mean, that
That'd be sweet.
just makes sense. Just
Yeah.
a bit, drop a bomb.
Yeah, I think Bomberman's been like a long time coming. So
Yeah.
I could definitely see this.
I'm
game.
shocked he was not in the last one after they were doing all those guest characters, to
Yeah.
be honest.
Yeah, I'd say 50-50 on him showing up. My next one is Rex. He's the Xenoblade 2 character, so I think he
The
takes
main
the place
character of it?
Yeah.
I think he takes the place of Shulk
I
in
agree
this
with
one.
that.
I agree.
I think that one's like 80.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Much higher.
I'd say he's probably main roster.
I don't think
for sure.
Boobs McGee's showing up, but
God, I
Bummer.
wish. I'm
Bummer.
sure she'll be whatever they call him, a special or
an
ultra.
assist.
So,
Or
yeah,
she-
that too.
Or she'll
Assist
be
trophy.
in
yeah.
the Smash Ball.
Yeah.
That makes sense. What do you have any other ones, Todd?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Not a big Smash.
What are we
dude.
thinking about Simon Belmont or Trevor Belmont?
Yes.
Oh, that
Yeah.
would be cool.
I put that, and I also put Alucard, I think.
God, that feels so wrong.
What? It would be awesome, though. For a lot of these, I'm of the mindset of I don't want just like
I would
one
want
character.
Simon,
I don't want one representation of a series, so I would want either I would want a Belmont, I guess is my pick, and also Alucard. So
Yeah.
both of those together.
Interesting.
So you get kind of not really good and bad guy, but sort of same team sort of
Okay.
thing.
Yeah, I think that one is like 40%. I think
Yeah.
it's pretty high.
The first like male female counterpart swap that I did is Alm and Celica from Fire Emblem, like the most recent 3DS Fire Emblems. So I think that would be the first case in where that takes the place of, like I said, I still think they're going to have that like 6 to 7 Fire Emblem character pool, and I think this is the first one where they take over that spot, and it makes sense because they fight similarly enough. Maybe one can be more magic, one can be more sword, obviously, but I like the idea of having two characters in one. You can just swap between genders or outfits or whatever they want to do on it. I think this is also the first game where they finally put Waluigi in as a
that was my next
character.
one. Yeah. I agree. I think Waluigi, it seems like they've thrown in a new Mario person or two each game, which is getting a little bit much. But, we had Bowser Jr. and Rosalina last time. Like, we had Wario before that.
Yeah.
Like, they slowly just put in a few more Mario characters. And I think it is Waluigi's time to be a main roster guy
I could
instead of
definitely
being
see
a
that.
tennis racket man in an assist trophy.
So I could see that more than I was thinking the Baby Mario, Baby Luigi because of the Bowser Jr.
I
I could see that.
What about Captain Toad?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that would be sweet.
Captain Toad, especially with the direct announcement, I think like it's finally to the point where it's just beyond like a niche.
Interesting.
Fan
I think
base.
he's going to be an assist trophy.
Sure.
That'd be cool too.
Yeah.
That's what I think.
As long as he's in the game.
He can't even jump.
My next one, I mean, I know we've kind of gone over some of these. Let's say Almond Celica is probably 25, maybe like a third.
Is
like
that the Fire
33%.
Emblem?
Yeah, the
people?
Fire
Yeah,
Emblem.
I don't know them well enough to really guess.
I feel like my next...
If
like,
it's Fire Emblem, probably 100%.
I feel like my next 50-50 sort of guess is Shovel Knight.
So
Ooh, that
that's
would be cool.
that's what. Yeah, I think Shovel Knight is going to be the only indie character to shove in Smash.
That's fair.
I'm fine with that.
He has 4 amiibos already,
Yeah.
which is crazy. I think he like Box Boy got one in like Japan or something. So there's a couple indies that have amiibos, but Shovel Knight comes to Nintendo stuff first. Like the expansions get released first. He gets revealed on
Arguably the best version, too.
Yeah, he gets revealed on their stage for things. He has amiibos. Like he is very tied to Nintendo, and I think he's going to be like. I don't want to go crazy down the rabbit hole and be like Shantae, Azure Striker, like all these characters. I think I could sum all of them up with Shovel Knight would be the one that goes in.
Yeah.
What about? I think Shovel Knight will be in, but Cuphead.
No.
No, I don't think there's any tie. Like, I don't think Microsoft would let that up. So that would be like a really...
That's like their one game
huge
that they've had
pool
in the
to try-
past year.
I mean, that's a haymaker for sure if they got it.
It's
but,
true, but
he'd be like Game & Watch.
yeah.
He'd be cool
basically.
in the game.
Yeah.
I would say 1% for that.
I mean, I
too,
saw
though.
people throwing crazier stuff out like Master Chief and
Sure,
things like
yeah.
that. And
Out of their
I
minds.
don't agree with that, but
that would be like that 1 in a million.
I would
sorta.
love, to be fair, I would love Shantae. She would fit in really well too.
I
but I
had
think
Shantae
she's
on
just-
my list.
Oh,
so,
really?
yeah.
I think hers is like 2%. A little bit more. I think Shovel Knight is like 50-50.
Yeah,
I
I could-
really think.
Yeah,
Shovel Knight's
I
gonna
think
get in
Shovel Knight just because as far as indie games go, he's got the higher.
well, I think he's
like
got the look.
popularity.
I think his moveset would fit really well
Yeah.
into it. And these people, he's a character everybody loves. So
I mean, that would be cool too if his outfit changed him to some of the different knights too.
That
I
would
mean,
be
there.
awesome.
That'd be crazy because they're all so different.
Yeah.
yeah,
but
that would be very
that
cool.
would be amazing.
The next one, and like I said, I like to think that this one, if they're moving towards another 50, 60 man roster, they're going to get more characters from series in there, so you start having these one-ofs. I think Knuckles and Tails, 2 different
Really?
characters.
I could see that.
Yeah.
Man, I guess we've never got another Sonic thing,
Yeah.
have we?
Mm.
I would rather probably see Eggman. or Shadow.
Yeah, I was gonna say Shadow, Knuckles, Tails. I think
But
2 out
still,
of that
that's
pool
cool.
of 3 shows up.
Show me the way.
Maybe not.
We're not getting Knuckles.
Maybe,
What if that's his taunt?
That would be awesome.
Maybe
I hope
not.
it's Fat Knuckles.
Maybe not Tails, but yeah, I think Shadow and Knuckles probably.
I think Knuckles and Tails would be cool.
I think at least one of those 3 is like a 50-50. I think you got to get something else for Sonic in there. Who's I think I've got him at like 100% showing up.
Yeah,
Sonic.
sure.
I think Sonic is 100%.
Yeah, I
as
think
well.
he's in there.
What are we thinking about the Ice Climbers returning?
For sure.
I think they're 100%.
I think
as well.
you, especially after kind of dropping the ball on DLC for including them.
Well, their whole complaint was that the 3DS could not run them.
Yeah.
That was the reason they took them out. It was because the 3DS and the Wii U one were supposed to complement each other, and they were supposed to have the same roster, and they couldn't run 4 sets of Ice Climbers on the 3DS at the same time in 60 frames a second.
Yeah.
So they can do that on the Switch. Ice Climbers confirmed.
Yeah.
Simple as that. Also, I really like the having Duck Hunt fight Ice Climbers, fight, Game & Watch fight Rob is
It's
just kinda
super
cool.
silly.
Yeah.
I like it.
I don't know if cool is the right
Oh,
word.
I guess we could throw out Springman and Ribbon Girl from
Yes,
sure.
I
from
think,
the
I think that's a
arms.
male-female swap.
I
That would be cool.
agree. I think they're 100%.
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
think they're absolutely going to be the next.
I mean,
reveals.
they're fighters. So.
Yeah, that would be very
yeah,
cool.
they fit in
It just
way too
makes it
perfectly.
I mean, I can just see like his like spring arm going across the screen and hitting people. It
That
just
sounds
makes
sweet.
way too
Knock
much
them off.
sense. Yeah.
Be like Little Mac.
Aw, yeah.
How horrible. Man, I want to play Smash. What else do you have?
I think my next one, let's see. I think this is like a 10%er, Beat from Jet Set Radio. I think there's been some background talk. I think Sega's trying to make some more moves, and like maybe this sort of game is sort of like a drop a character in and test their popularity.
The thing
That would be
is,
sweet.
Sega has a lot of really good Smash
Yeah.
characters. Just from like Beat.
Mhm.
There's some Persona stuff that now they own. They have
Yeah.
Knights, which I
Yeah.
think would fit really well into the game. Like they do have the characters, and if Sega just wants to be like F it, as long as they're true
Yeah.
to their game, dude, that'd be cool. He would
I-
be
said
awesome.
good.
He would
and-
move so quick. He'd be
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be really cool.
And
I'm gonna say 4% on that.
mhm.
I think it's possible though.
10%.
I think that's something you go for though, and I know it kind of goes against my thing of adding multiple characters for a series. He would be a one of, obviously, but
I like one-offs.
but he is by far, as far as Jet Set goes, the one who would get his name out there, I guess, for the game or the series. So plus that would just be a sweet trailer. So
That would be
it's a
cool.
wish list. Like I said, I put 10. I'm a little more optimistic for some of these, but
Yeah, I'm trying to be like kind of realistic with my percentages. There's
Yeah.
a lot of characters to
Yeah.
pick from. Only 60 make it. Like you can't have.
mhm. There's going to
too
be a
high
lot of returns. I mean, we already went over the list. There's going to be a bunch of returns. I'd say probably 2/3 of the game are returns. So I'm hoping.
Oh, what about Wolf?
Yes.
You think Wolf is coming
Yeah,
back?
I think because he didn't make it in the DLC for.
You think people
most
are gonna
recent
be
version.
salty and they want to
Yeah.
heal those wounds?
Yeah.
I think for the Fox series or Star Fox series, I think Wolf and also Crystal. Crystal's the only
Ooh.
one.
I would
She's
love
like
to
the
see
last one that they haven't brought in as far as like the big characters from Star
I would
Fox.
love to see Crystal.
And Crystal would be cool.
She would be.
All right.
Plus, it might raise popularity to get Star Fox
Yeah.
ported over in not bad controls.
What do you think about the Wonderful 101 man from the Wii U?
I didn't even think about him.
I actually think that's like probably 30.
Really?
Really?
Because I think that game is coming to the Switch.
Does he
I
have
think
like
that's going to be
is
another.
he like a pretty popular character? I don't
Pretty popular, no, but that game was good. It's done by Platinum, who did
Yeah.
Bayonetta. Bayonetta's in Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and it was originally a Mario game, and they changed it. Like, he's got, obviously it's in Nintendo exclusive, a close tie to Nintendo.
Right.
But I think that game is going to come to Switch eventually. And I could see him being a character, even if it's a DLC character later or something.
I didn't think about it, but I mean, I could see it.
I think that's
far-fetched.
possible. I think that's possible. You got any other ones? I mean,
Oh, yeah.
I have ones that I can say that are like not gonna. Like I could say the
I'm-
Okami dog
I'll,
because now Okami's on the Switch, but there's no fucking way that's
I
happening.
I'll throw out my last like 50-50s. I think King K. Rool from DK is finally gonna make it.
Not
he's,
Funky Kong.
He's well, King K. Rool has always been like #1 on popularity polls and stuff like that. I think they finally kind of budge and say like, okay, here he is.
Yeah, so's Ridley, and they're like, "Fuck you, he's a mini boss."
This is trophy. Basically, anyone who I list is probably just going to be an assist trophy if they're not like a Sure bet. The other one from DK is Dixie Kong, maybe.
Okay. I like this. I'm just reading some stuff online trying to find some. Mario Odyssey Mario, who has Cappy.
Yeah.
That's cool.
I think he's just going to be the Mario.
You think Mario's just reworked?
Yeah, I think you ought to
makes
just
sense.
make it like him.
Yeah, I mean, he's so much. He has so many more attacks in Odyssey that makes sense.
And I mean, you could just completely redo his move pool and stuff like that.
And then
Just toss
Dr.
him on
Mario
there.
could be the old Mario.
And that would be cool if he had some
Makes
sort of
sense.
like command grab with the hat where he like controlled the
Yeah,
character
that would
for
be-
a second.
that would be
So
sweet.
that'd be cool.
I like it.
From Mega Man, I also did Zero. I think finally throwing another Mega Man in there.
See, I would
That would be
think it would be Proto Man.
Yeah.
Because if you do Zero, I feel like you have to have X. Just
Fair.
because they're for X and Mega Man are different characters.
Yeah.
So I would think you'd get Proto Man first, but Zero would be awesome in that game. Talk about a sword character.
Yeah, that would be sick.
I think that Dark Samus is another one where I feel like that's above like a 1/3 possibility. I think you add some more Samus stuff in there that's
That'd be
not
cool.
Ridley.
Yeah.
I think they just have a problem making Ridley like playable as far as like
He's
how do you
huge.
yeah like
it
how
doesn't
do
make
you
any
how do you
sense.
make it work? Like obviously Bowser's huge, Donkey Kong's huge, a couple other
Charizard.
characters, but Ridley's just massive. I don't know if they could make him work in an actual game.
That's fair.
And I feel like he's just like the
Ooh.
butt of the joke.
I didn't even read this. I just thought of it.
Yeah.
But throwing back to the Sega thing,
Yeah,
I want Ooh La La.
that's fair.
That would be cool.
That would be sweet. And other ones that I keep seeing people throw out, Sora from Kingdom Hearts. People have wanted that forever.
Really?
I just don't. I mean, even though they got Cloud,
Yeah.
and that makes no sense. He also makes no sense. He's not on. I mean, he was on the 3DS, but like,
And to be fair, I think there's only a
isn't even coming
spot.
to
There's
Switch.
only a spot for like one of these, just like really huge
random.
grabs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. So I think Sora is less than 1%.
My
for
other
sure.
ones, I'm gonna start getting into like the 5 or below percent, and this is sort of wish list stuff. I think Ren from Persona 5, a main character, has got a
Is that
shot.
the guy with the mask?
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
Morgana
yeah.
would
That's the
be
only guy
more
I like.
likely,
Um,
but I also don't think we'll get that,
Yeah.
especially because Q2 isn't on Switch for some
as
reason.
of this moment, yep. Also, I mean, maybe they could dip into Doom and Elder Scrolls stuff. Maybe get Dragonborn or the Doom Slayer from those games.
Slayer would be
mainly.
sweet.
That would be sweet. I think
Chibi Robo.
I think his move pool is a bit too graphic for this game, so I
Yeah,
don't know how
that's-
you would
that's
make
fair.
him work. But I mean, you had Solid Snake who kills people in the game, so you know.
I was
Yeah,
gonna
but
say-
he's also silly.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
it'd be cool to have a South Park character, but then I was thinking this is like
Man, Mr. Hanky would be great in this Smash game.
I also put Itsuki Aoi, I think is his last name, from Tokyo Mirage. I think that would be, if they're not going to give me a remake or a
not
port, give me him.
Give me a Tokyo Mirage level.
Yeah.
And
that'd be
I'm
cool.
content.
And I'm sitting there thinking, like, you know, the actual fighting combat area would be a cool stage. His super or ultimate, whatever it's called in the game, could have all the people doing the encores. Like, it just makes too much sense for him to not be in the game other than...
I think he can have a level, and I will be more than content.
He'd be cool as his trophy. That too. I think some of the other ones I did, going down my list, to add another F-Zero character for Falcon, do Samurai Goro, which is like his rival.
Is he the
Ooh, that would be
monkey-looking
cool.
guy? Isn't
No,
there a monkey
he's
dude?
the fat guy in the pink outfit. Or
Okay.
the pink
Okay.
car.
Yeah, I got you.
I put Amaterasu from Okami. I think that would just be sweet. They don't really have too many four-legged creatures in the game.
No, they
So-
got rid of them all.
Yeah.
Ice climbers. Got rid of those guys.
I think that's about it for my... I didn't have any other too crazy ones that I can see.
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is if they start going
Captain Todd.
heavy indie. And then I can start pulling, like the SteamWorld Dig characters, because that's been on there. And maybe we get like Guacamelee, and you can start going
That would
like,
be sweet.
really, really far down a rabbit hole.
Cuphead.
I would just prefer if there's somebody else do that and make the indie Smash and stuff. The only ones I could see breaking through are Shovel Knight and Shantae.
Yeah,
those
that's
are the only ones I could see breaking that mold. But let us know if we missed any, or any ones that you think really strongly are. Maybe you have some evidence that you think is compelling enough that would make them show up. I also do think Chibi Robo does stand a chance, though.
Who knows?
I think he stands
I
a
also
chance.
almost put the girl from Celeste in there, but that game's kind of new, so I don't know if they get into that.
Yeah, just because it's good.
I feel like this game's gonna have not as many people as the last Smash,
I
but
agree.
it's gonna be better quality.
I also agree. I think this roster is going to be not the teeniest because I think Smash 1 had like 12 characters, but I think it's going to be very small compared to the Wii U, and I think they're going to be updating it a lot.
Yeah, I think this was getting ready to say was I think they're gonna go the route of most games where it's like ship. For this game, 30 or 40 sounds like a lot compared to Tekkens and Street Fighters, but it's not for Smash. I think ship 30, 36, something like that, whatever fits right for their character selection screen, and then start doing pack like indie pack.
Yeah, if they're doing that, they need to convince people by E3.
Yeah.
This is a new Smash, and this is why you need to own it. I don't know if that means a single player. I don't know if that means new modes that aren't just like the 8-player mode, like have something new that's not in the other ones, but you need a reason.
They've done it with so many fighting games recently, like Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Tekken. They've like reinvented these games. So I think if they do something that these other games are doing, like, you know, whether it's the...
All they need to do for this game is not make it broken.
Yeah.
That's really all they need to do.
I think they just need to make it like look not like, you know, crazy better because we talked about that, but
it looks
just,
really good.
It does. It does. But
I mean, and the system can't handle it if it goes too much better.
There just needs to be like something like in that trailer that people are like, oh wow, that looks crazy new. I'm not sure what.
I think personally, the thing I loved about All Stars and the reason I liked it more than Smash is because those characters really felt like they were ripped from their game and put into All Stars. Their moves were the same, the combos transferred over. Like they really made it feel like those characters. And in the Wii U version, they just totally stole that and did that. Like all their characters had their systems from their game, whether it's like the witch time that Bayonetta has, or what is it? Shulk had the different sword attachment things that he could swap between. Like that was so cool. And I think if you just do more of that and you make everyone interesting and balanced, I think you're totally fine.
What I'm really hoping for is that they continue that streak of these trailers where it's just like the symbol and it's just like that classic.
Every character getting recruited. It's like the Marvel ending credit scene of them getting recruited into. It's like Splatoon. You've been chosen.
But I mean, obviously, you don't need to show a trailer for Breath of the Wild Link or Cappy,
that's something
Mario.
we didn't even bring up. That was a different link.
Yeah,
in the trailer.
for sure, definitely Breath of the Wild. But I hope they just keep doing that, where it's just like you see the trailer of the game, you're like, oh, okay, and then it gets to the point where screen goes dark. I mean, maybe they mix it up a little bit. But I hope that's their new a new challenger approaching sort of take on that.
I think it's great.
I
love
hope
their
it's just like that.
Trailers.
I think that'd be cool for like every game that's going to be in that game. You know what I'm saying? So if they do like a Mario one, it'll show all the Mario characters that are going to be in it. But I think that's a cool idea.
Yeah, I hope it's like that because that makes it feel sort of like a reboot of the series. And I know a lot of people are calling for them to go back to Melee, like make it an actual fighter first, and then fun party game second.
Yeah, I would enjoy
Sounds
that
horrible.
More. Really?
Yeah. Melee is not any but I like Brawl way more than Melee. And I like the Wii U one way more than Brawl. They've only gotten better.
But
Melee's
either way,
great. You get to play Ice Climbers and Fox all day. Fuck that game.
I'm kind of like Todd. I hope they do something to like revitalize the game. I mean, not that it needs it. Melee and 4 still like blow attendance records every single year that they keep doing the Evos and stuff like that. So those aren't going anywhere per se.
Once again, it's like this Nintendo nostalgia thing.
But I hope they do something to make it a little bit, just a little bit more of a notch like the fighting game scene where it feels like people can pick it up and be a little bit more competitive, but still keep the fun kind of atmosphere.
I think Wii U did that really well. Like Brawl, total opposite. People did not like playing Brawl. And the Wii U one, people really like playing. Yeah. Like, it's super popular. And every new character has been really good, and they've worked it in. Some old ones are, like Diddy Kong was running amok for quite a while. Like, they at least paid attention.
Yeah. And patch it and all that stuff, too, obviously. Keep on top of it. And support the online system. Make it good.
Yeah, this is going to be I think it's clear, this is their online game.
Because
this is their flagship online
kill
game.
me if I'm ever playing Wii Smash again in those conditions. So.
All right, let's move into the releases and end this episode. There's a lot of releases this week.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. All, I guess, 3 if you're going to talk about that other game that I wasn't going to bring up on here.
Me and this guy are counting it at least.
First, we got Devil May Cry Collection HD coming March 13th. This is Devil May Cry 1, 2, 3, remastered. We'll see what that means with the Capcom remastering after playing Resident Evil
With
4.
the best frame rate in the business.
Well, that I don't think was part of the collection.
Okay.
But yes, Twitch Prime gave out Devil May Cry 1 for free, and its frame rate was... They were like, oh, increased frame rate. The game just ran at like 10 times speed.
Yeah.
Like that is not... that.
Yeah.
I was talking... It's funny, I think it was last week I was talking about how just, increasing the frames can like break these old
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Totally just ran the game in fast motion. Like, that's not how that's supposed to work. But anyway.
Yeah, that's like going from walking to like a Mustang.
Yeah, people were like, ooh, I'm going to break the speedrun record. Anyway, this is only a $30 pickup, $23 if you have, Prime or whatever it is. Pretty awesome, assuming that it works fine and everything. I'm going to be getting this. I'm very excited.
And skip Devil May Cry 2 when you play.
Yeah.
we'll
It's not
see.
awful.
Oh, it's skippable. It's forgettable.
Golem is also March 13th. This is coming to PSVR. This seems to me like an adventure-y game. I don't know exactly because I only watched the trailer on it.
Yeah.
I thought it was something else, and then I watched the trailer. I'm like, oh, it's not. But it's got sword fighting and everything, and you're taking down these golems as they were.
They're pretty
so-
epic looking. which
Yeah,
is
it looks
cool.
cool. It looks cool, but as with most PSVR games, I like a wait and see approach because you might get moss, or you might get people complaining about Bravo
Honestly,
Team.
it
already.
feels like PSVR games are what need demos the most.
Oh, they do. I mean,
More-
Moss
more
has a
than-
demo. Like
Yeah.
these games have a demo. I don't know if Golem does. And I think it's great that they do.
I wish they would just do quarterly or maybe once or twice a year, whatever. Just demo discs for PSVR.
that or every PSVR game you can play for 30 minutes. Like they
Should
used
be
to do
cool.
on
That's
PS3.
fair.
Yeah.
You could get any game for an hour on PS3.
Yeah.
Just
I think that would
do
be really
PSVR. You can have any game for 30 minutes. Make sure that you're not going to throw up.
Yeah.
Make sure that it's okay, and go from there. What was that other game that was coming out that you...
Warhammer 2 Vermintide comes out of beta and goes
Two.
straight into
Vermintide 2,
War.
sorry.
Yeah, sorry, Vermintide 2 comes out of beta and is full release on probably just Steam, I would think. And that is, if you remember, that is the Left 4 Dead meets Elder Scrolls kind of combat with Warhammer lore and classes. You have 15 classes you can choose, pretty much anything. It's a little bit more realistic Left 4 Dead, but same sort of system with potions, and you can like level up, and
You get loot as you're going through. There's a storyline that's really cool.
it's much more dungeon-esque than Left 4 Dead.
Yeah.
But cool sort of idea to adapt to it. So if you're really into Left 4 Dead, you can do Siege until Warhammer comes out
Yeah.
on Friday, and then you just have your zombie annihilation complete.
It's very cool. It's also only like $30.
Yeah,
which
it's
is sweet.
26, 30, something like that. So well worth it. And I know Vermintide 1 didn't get the best reviews, but they overhauled it. And if you look on Twitch, all sorts of people are playing it. It's
Oh yeah, a lot of big streamers are really digging the game.
wildly popular and looks great, plays great, and yeah, get it.
Excited.
Or don't. Whichever. I'm going to go with that one.
Get it.
That's it for this episode of the Press X Podcast. Thank you for being here and working on those Smash predictions. Todd,
Oh yeah, nobody told me about that.
thank you for being here. Nick, it wasn't a big thing.
To be
right?
fair, I was really bored at work. So.
Thank you for being here, Nick.
Yeah.
And thank you so much for watching. We'll speak with you next time.